Okay, so with your markers, what you're going to do is you are just going to kind of take a marker, and don't worry about coloring super perfect. You're just going to kind of scribble it. And then do that for the rest of the paper. So feel free to kind of go ahead and do that on your own. You can hang out and kind of copy me. It's whatever you want. But you notice I'm not doing my best coloring. You don't want to put too much marker down or it gets harder to paint with. So this is if you like to scribble, kind of channel your preschool days. This is kind of what we do here. We can always add more later if we need to, but it is really tricky to take away. So you can do it as you like. I'm kind of going all over the paper, but if you want to color each white section, like if I wanted to color all in between here a color and in between here a color, that's another way to do it. But I kind of like this tie-dye all over the place look. So that's what I'm going for. Alright, so once your paper is covered in these super scribbly patches, you are going to get a cup of water and your paintbrush. Now, if you don't have a paintbrush, check in your art kit, because I made sure that all families went home with a paintbrush. For these, if you don't have a water cup, because I did not hand out water cups, feel free to just take your paintbrush and run it under the sink, paint away, and then keep getting more water that way. That's another way to do this. But just kind of dump this in. And what you're going to do is you're going to add water. Now you want to go one color at a time because you don't want your brush to get all dirty. And if you do not want your colors mixing, be very careful of that. So I did the red over there. So now I'm going to get the red down here. And I can do that before super washing my brush. Okay, so that was all the red. Then you really want to rinse off your brush. Kind of pull the drips off the edge, and that will kind of get those colors out. Alright, I'm going to go into my yellow. Now you may notice I kind of hit that green there, so it mixed it a little bit. If that's something you want to do, then you can get some more of that and they will blend. But if you don't want your colors mixing, because you know sometimes that does make brown, then you want to not put wet next to wet. Because no matter how hard you try, a wet next to a wet always wants to mix. I'm going to go in here, paint this. Oh, I think I missed a couple yellows, so I'm going to have to rinse my brush again. If you want to skip around, that's fine. Just make sure to really rinse your brush, or see, I carried a little bit of that blue into this yellow. But I'm okay with that. Okay, and then up here. This is kind of the magic trick that if you don't have paint, but you have crayons and water, you can always make watercolor paint. As long as your markers are like these Crayola washable water-based markers. Washable Crayola, if it's hard to remember, washable Crayola is always going to work. I'm going to be careful in here because I know those other two yellows and that red is wet, so I don't want to go too far. I'm going to make some weird colors. Go over here. Now see how if you push down really hard on that crayon, that color is popping right out, all of those line works that you did. Now some places where I had a yellow crayon and a yellow, it's going to make it hard to see. And I'll show you how you can fix that in a minute. Okay, get this upper corner. Okay, down here. Okay. So I really wish that I could see this line that I did right here, that I did in yellow crayon and then I colored with yellow. So, two different ways you could do it. You could either wait until it dries and add some more marker, or I'm just going to kind of go into this greeny section and pick up some of it. And then I'm going to go right on top. And I'm just going to add a little bit of green there. And now I can see my crayon. If you want to do the same thing, if you want some color to pop, if you have some white spots in here like I did, feel free to kind of get maybe some of this purple, and you can go in ahead and color your letter and get some of those spots covered. That's a personal choice. I'm happy with what I have so far. So I'm just going to find a nice place for it to dry, and when it's dry, it will be done. Now, this is the project that if you are an at-home artist, the PTO, I believe, is looking for you to upload it. So when it's dry and ready, go ahead and do that. And I hope you enjoy your art this week, and I can't wait to see what you make next week. Feel free to share on our Flipgrid so I may see your hard work, and I will send you a video back. Thank you so much.